Well, I said I would give you an update today because I had to catch up on my the videos because I was a few days behind. Actually, right on time. So, but we got them all in. I'm Lenny Wennerstrom, and I am here to help you find your purpose. And I want to give you an update, but first let's just go through, today is July 20th, day 202 of the year, 164 days left, and we are 55.19. I don't want to say 19 because my daughter right there.
Guess I'm here now.
If I say 19, she says, Mommy, people say 19%, but we are 55.19% done with 2024. So, oh, there she's kind of in the side. She might pop in and out. Okay, so did I say I'm Lenny Wennerstrom? And one of the tools I use is Dr. Shad Helmstedter's book, 365 Days of Positive Self-Talk for Finding Your Purpose. So before I'll read the passage and then I'll give you just a little update of what's going on. It's getting a little dark here. So I don't mind it when others question my goals or think I can't reach them. I know that real winners win by following their greatest dreams rather than listening to the negative opinions of others. So I don't give up and I don't give in. And because I keep believing in myself, I win. I like that, it rhymes. Okay, ready for your higher self? This is your higher self talking to you. You ready? You don't mind it when others question your goals or think you can't reach them. You know that real winners win by following their greatest dreams rather than listening to the negative opinions of others. So you don't give up and you don't give in. And because you keep believing in yourself, you win. Doo-doo-doo. This is very empowering because a lot of times we don't have that support of those that we love or people that we are seeking approval or that seeking that they support us, and many times we don't have that, and so if you are struggling with that, just know that you are a winner and you can achieve your goals, and you don't need someone else to lift you. It feels good, but when you listen to self-talk and your self-esteem is strong and powerful and you know who and what you really are, you really understand that the only approval you will ever need is your own, and that comes from self-belief. And this is why neuroplasticity is such a gift to us and our brain, and that is because neuroplasticity basically, in a nutshell, means that your brain is always rewiring itself. And what does rewiring itself means? It means creating new neural pathways, and these rather than you are changing these negative programs that say you can't do something or you're unable to do something or any of that, you're changing them and replacing them. You need to have something to replace them. And so Dr. Shad Helmstedter's program, his self-talk program, which I always put in the description, which might be a little bit late today, for this one, if you're listening to this today on the 20th, but that you'll get 30 days free with that program. It's a language. So that app, it contains a language that gets you to replace the old programs, the programs that sabotage you and are counterproductive and don't help you to become that winner that you really are. And so you replace them with with high self-esteem and having very positive relationships and all the wonderful things financially, being able to create, to move the energy to create the life that you truly want financially and emotionally and all of those things spiritually, because you are the one in charge. You are driving the bus. You are driving your boat. You literally have a rudder that takes you wherever you want to go. And when you know who and what you really are, and that boat, that rudder is so strong when you have your purpose. And this is where we talk about the purpose. So when you have your purpose and think about it as your mission, what is it why are you here? Why did you choose to come to planet Earth at this time? What is it that you wanted to do or share or give or even receive? What is it that drives you? And you may not know right now, and that's okay. It's just setting a goal, maybe, to say, I'm going to find my purpose by, say, the end of 2024, or by the end of next month, or I'm going to work on it, every single day. I'm going to really focus in on my mission in life, like why am I here, and I'm going to work on that. If you've already found your purpose, that's amazing. That is so fantabulous. Are you using it? Are you finding skills that support it and strengthen it? And so your goals, and what you really want to do when somebody questions your goals or any of that, is when your self-esteem is high, you're not looking for somebody to lift you or give you approval. It feels nice and it's wonderful, but it's very, very unnecessary. You are the only one that needs to give yourself the approval to win, and because you already have that innately. You were born with unlimited promise and potential, absolutely unlimited, and then you got programmed. And now you have programs in the 30 days free, in the description, in that app, the self-talk app. You have these programs that you can listen to. It's repetition, it's always repetition, and you have those programs to replace those negative programs that are stopping you, sabotaging you, holding you back. So, and that's really all that it is. They're just programs, nothing more. And they feel so real, so earthly real, that you just cannot take another step forward, or you are so unable. And that is only true if you believe it to be true. Once you understand, this is why I'm always, when I talk about practical spirituality, and the two legs, or the two principles, the spiritual journey and then the human experience. This is why I focus on the human experience a lot on this, and that's because we question here on planet Earth, that human experience, we question ourselves because we are programmed. But once you understand what neuroplasticity is, and that you have that power, and the brain is there to do your bidding, you just get to change those programs. It's so powerful. It's so powerful because you can create absolutely anything. So that's the story on that. And now just a quick update of where we're at. And you can see it's getting dark here, but we are in Amarillo, and I mentioned that I think in the first, well, anyway, it doesn't matter, like 2 or 3 videos ago. And we are in Amarillo, and we came here. My hubby wanted to breathe more easily, so he wanted to have be lower sea level, and Amarillo was his destination of choice. And then he got really, really sick, and so now he's in critical care here. So I'm just gonna go for a minute.
So we're here, and we are working with the doctors and nurses, and everyone has been really great, and we are just doing our best.
And so, thank you for that moment. And so, you could be going through the worst of times, what feels so difficult. And I'm just going to tell you right now that it can feel so real and so difficult. And it's an illusion. It's all an illusion. And you get to create your own reality. If you are of a spiritual nature, as I am, and I'm going to tell you this, that this has helped me immensely, because will he transition or will he stay with us? I don't know, and it doesn't look real good. So, from earthly standards, and so the beauty of really knowing who and what you really are, which means that you then know who and what others really are, and you understand that we are all one. Then you understand that I chose this. I chose this journey. My hubby chose that journey. Our daughter chose the journey, and so you chose your journey. And so how could it possibly be wrong? And I think it was the days have kind of run into each other, but I think it was a night ago or 2 nights ago, I was just meditating, and I was just in this beautiful, beautiful state. And it showed when my higher self, and I talk about your higher self because that's the divine, and that is always with you, always. That is you, just at a higher dimension, or it's all one. So it's very, very powerful. So that might sound, I don't know how it sounds. It's okay. but it's very, very powerful because we are all one. It's all just a matter of degree. And I know I say this, I've said this before, and I will continue to say it, but it is all just a matter of degree. Again, just like the ocean, and those drops in the spray, and they're over here, flying around, little sprays of the ocean when it hits, and those sprays, and all those droplets. And so however long those droplets are in the air, they are all the constituents of the ocean, all of it. They're just like everything. Well, maybe one has a little piece of moss or seaweed or something, whatever in it, so that makes it unique. We've talked about that, like it's just unique from the other, but all the constituents, like what it is, the whole thing, it has all of that of the ocean. And here it is, flying around, that goes and flies into the, gets into the ocean. And then it becomes one with the ocean. That's us with the divine, with the one, with consciousness, with God, with universe, whatever it is you want to call that. That's what it is, and that's what we are. And so that is very comforting because, this time has been a very difficult for months, very honestly, and when you have something so powerful, that knowing who and what you really are, and knowing it's an adventure, and that the human experience to live through it, like literally feel it and live through it and be there and participate in it, rather than running from it or hiding or I'm going to give you an example, and this might run just a teeny bit long, but I'm going to give you an example of something that could have been with my attitude. And remember that your beliefs create your attitude, and your attitude creates your feelings, and your feelings create your actions, which create your results. And so we brought our RV here because he wanted to come out here, and so we are in an RV park. And this morning we were supposed to move because they found a space. There was what they call sites. If you RV, you have a site, and then they said we were going to need to move. So the next night, but we didn't know what was going to happen yesterday. That my hubby was going to be, the ambulance came and took him. So he's had quite the adventure because he was helicoptered, as I said, on one of helicoptered from a smaller hospital to a larger hospital, and then he was released, and then now then just a couple of days later after he was released, he's back in and even in worse shape, and so he took an ambulance in, so he's quite enjoying the adventure, I suppose. I don't know if he's actually enjoying it, but he's definitely having an adventure. And but the RV people, I called this morning and said, do we have to move? Because that meant I would have to leave my husband's side. Right now he's being taken care of by the nurses and doctors and such, so we're taking a break to do this video for you because I want to be here for you, and I want to be here for me because this is important to me. Because I love you and I value this time with you, and I hope you value this time with me, and I hope you learn, and I hope that you see that my human experience, that you can go through the absolute worst of times and come through it on the other side, no matter what, and I'm going to show that to you. No matter how this goes, I'm going to show you how you do it, right? Because this is what we do. This is the human experience. So, and I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud to know that I can move through this and flow through this, as difficult as it is.
And I'm really proud of her too.
Yeah. So this is, where was I?
RV park.
Yeah, so the RV park. So here's my example, and it's so I was trying not to have a little trash can there. We have more of a little bush, Amarillo. We keep wanting to sing that song. My poor hubby. We keep singing him the song Amarillo by morning. So so the RV, the owner, or the people who were working there came and told us this morning. I had to let the dogs out and was taking a break, and Lynette was here with hubby, her dad, and they came and told us that we had to move. But before I had called earlier, and the other person that was there before this other person, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly.
You are.
Oh, okay. Gracias. So they told me that I didn't have to move. They said, don't worry about it, understanding what happened, because the ambulance had come and taken my hubby off. And they said, you don't have to move. Don't worry about it. You don't need another thing to worry about. And then later, when I was there taking care of the dogs, this other guy comes and pretty forcefully tells me, you have to move. And I explained what was going on, and he said, well, you got to go talk to my wife about it because she told me to tell you to move. And so here's what I could have done. I just want to give you an example. I could have gotten really angry, and I could have said, this is what's happening. I could have been defiant. I could have chosen a myriad. You're looking at someone with very little sleep, and who could choose to be a victim of the circumstance, and who could be very upset about somebody mistreating after this person at the RV park, basically not having respect, and because he was pretty caustic about it, and I just I chose to come from a place of love and flow through the human experience and not be angry, just have one less thing to do. And I also saw it as an opportunity to get in that RV, like pack it all up. And there's a lot that when you have an RV, you've got to unhook the sewer, the water, the electrical, you've got to pull slides in. There's a lot that goes on with it. And then driving it. And so I just thought, this is a really great opportunity for me to just have more confidence in myself and get this done, and not have that, not have the stress of thinking, that this person, or that the RV park, it's a business, right? And they needed us to move because somebody else had, had that space before us or something. And, or had, they had a reservation or whatever that it was. So it was a choice. I could have come from a very low frequency position, and I deliberately chose my human experience to come from a place of love and to find opportunity in that and to flow with that, just like I'm flowing with my husband, where he's at. And if you could see him, you would see how very difficult to see him, on all kinds of monitors and a ventilator, and it's not very easy to see this stuff. And so but you can. You choose. You are powerful, as am I, to choose your journey and to choose how you want to treat people and how you want to be treated and how you want to flow with the experience. And I choose love, and I choose the human experience to understand what I really am. And while I am the human, more than human, I am spirit, and I am love, and I am one. And so this to me is very powerful and very, very beautiful. And I know that he chose his experience, and every single one, like, it's all roles that we're all playing out here. It's like a video game or a stage, and you get to move the actors and everything. It's your stage, and you are the star. You are absolutely the star. How do you want it to play out? And not everything is going to be perfect or anything else. And so what happened in this story, where I'm kind of going here and there, is that then I moved it, and I felt so good. I was like, yay, I drove it, and I'm getting very competent at driving the RV, and it's 37 feet and 50 pulling the Jeep behind it. It's a motorhome. So it's pretty large, and we have the animals and the puppies, and there's a lot that goes on with it, and I just was like, you rock, Lenny. I was like, you go, girly. And you know, and it just made me feel so good. I felt so good about it. And my brother helped me as well to do some things. But I drove it and I got it there. And then here's the moral of the story, or the point of the story of how you can choose your emotions. And that is, the owner of the park came. I was doing my other videos to catch up, and he came over, and he came and he said, you know what, he said, I am so sorry. It was a little longer than this, but just in a nutshell, he said, I'm so sorry that we harassed you when you're going through this. Oh, here comes, he said, we are human. And I just appreciated that. And not only that, but he knocked the daily rate down like in half. So he said, I don't want you to have to worry about that. And he said, and you don't have to move. You can stay as long as you need to. And so that's the human. I created that by not getting upset, by just flowing. And I'm telling you, you can flow. You can flow in your experience, no matter how difficult it feels. So no matter where it is or where you are, it doesn't matter. It all matters. Let me restate that. It all matters. But you have the ability to choose your experience. And when you come from a place of love, and when you come from a place of knowing what you really are, it's a whole different experience. And so much beauty comes to you, like so much comes back to you because of that. And so I hope I'm not so crying too much to where you can't understand me. But so in a nutshell, because this is kind of a long one, it's actually not really that long. It's only 22 minutes at this point, and sometimes I've gone almost to 30. So, the last thing I wanted to share with you is that experience is when you believe in yourself and you have self-esteem and you choose your opportunities and you create your opportunities. Your choices are your free will. And you get to choose how you're going to be, and let's get back to the goals and self-esteem. And I'll tell you right now, had I not been listening, and I've been listening to self-talk since before October of last year, and driving the RV was only one experience that was like, I started driving that RV and I was like, hey, I got this. I was so proud of myself the first time. And that was in March, and because before that I was so intimidated driving it. And I got behind the wheel and I was like, I got this. I was like, wow. that was the self-talk, because my self-esteem had grown immensely. And I mentioned that before. So there's so many benefits that you get when your self-esteem, when you raise your self-esteem, when you have high self-esteem, when you have self-esteem period, when you know what you really are, and when you love yourself, and you know you can get through things. And the self-talk with my husband, where he's at, it's like I am constantly telling myself, you got this, Lenny. Like, you can do this. You know, no matter what happens, first of all, remember who and what you really are, and understand it's a journey, and understand that your journey together might be coming to an end, and it's okay. That's his journey. Honor his journey. Like, you don't need to hang on to him. When my mom died, I was like, oh, Mommy, please don't die. And I was like, I was just so like, because she was my bestest friend in the entire world, and I just did not want to be an orphan, and I did not want to be without her, and that was so difficult. That took me years and years, and now I get it. Like, now I get it, and I'm coming from such an empowered place that I can flow through this, and it's not that it's not difficult, as you see that I can crumble in a moment, but I can pick myself back up, and that is my self-talk. My self-talk, I have such high self-esteem, and I love myself immensely, where if you've been following me, you know that I hated myself and I tried to kill myself many times, many years ago. And it's like total contrast, right? Total contrast. Now I'm just like, I love myself, and I totally value my life and this journey, and it is an adventure, and I'm taking it all the way. Like, no matter what it is, I'm flowing. And so the last part I'm going to leave you with is, I was starting to tell you about my, I had this journey just the other night, last night or the night before, and I was and I was just meditating, and I started, understanding my power and just really feeling the power of the one within me. And it's only a matter of degree, as I was explaining about the drops. I am that power of that, and it's like, okay, what do I want to do with that? And I started being shown various images of what could possibly be, and it was just like these snapshots of different things that could be, and it wasn't anything. And this is like maybe my hubby transitions, meaning he could die, right? And what would happen, or he could totally be whole and healthy and come back, and what would that look like? And I could, everything that I'm doing, and what would that look like? And these snapshots just kept coming at me, and it was like, it wasn't anything that I could have ever imagined. It was so much better and brighter, and no matter what it was. And that is when you know that it's higher, you just look for the highest and the best, and you just move through it with love, and you go through the human experience, and you go through the spiritual journey. This is practical spirituality. This is why I teach this, because it's all tools. It's all tools, and they're simple. It's just like knowing that, acceptance and whatever is highest and best, and knowing that you are this light being, and the human experience, you get to create it. It doesn't mean that my hubby stays alive. That doesn't mean that I'm not, that's his journey, right? But what am I going to do with my journey? Am I going to just crumble and fall apart and not, like I did with my mother? Am I going to do that and just be like nothing for years? Or am I going to be a victim of the circumstances and understanding that now that he chose his journey, I chose the journey? Like, how could it possibly be wrong? It's just another part of this adventure we call the human experience. So I leave you with that, and I really hope that you've gotten some gems through some of my tears and emotions, because it is, we will all have these struggles. That is the beauty of, it's such an honor and a privilege to be human. It is such an honor and a privilege. And when you recognize that, when I recognize that, that's the power. That's because you're more than that, but you also know that nothing is so horrible. Absolutely nothing, because nothing here on planet Earth can hurt you. Is it a dangerous place, and can somebody stab you or shoot you, or can your hubby die, or your wife, or your child, or can these things that are just so awful, a truck hits you or runs? I mean, we actually know somebody. In fact, Joe Dispenza got hit by a truck. Can these things happen? Sure. Planet Earth is a dangerous place, but did you choose it? Did I choose this? Did my hubby choose it? Did we all choose it? It's part of the journey. It's just part of the journey, and it's part of the adventure. And then whenever it is, and it's something that you chose, this is what I chose. I believe this in all my heart. It doesn't mean you have to believe it. These are my beliefs. These are the things I teach. They bring me a lot of peace, and they are tools. Everything that I teach, they are tools. Just like the self-talk, it's a tool that will help you to change your programs, these negative programs that hold you back, that say you are a victim of the circumstances or situation. I am not a victim to my hubby, his journey and his health. That circumstance, that situation, I am not a victim. It's just an event, and it will pass however it passes. It will unfold as it unfolds, and I will move through it with grace and love and with choice to be the most absolute graceful human, have that experience and that adventure that I possibly can, no matter how difficult it is. And so I share this with you, and I share my emotions with you, because yes, they're raw, but it's real, and it's contrast because on the other side is going to be something more beautiful and better than I could have ever imagined. And I'm going to allow the universe and my higher self to bring that to me, whatever that is. And I'm not going to look at myself as a victim. I am empowered, and my journey and my adventure, it's just another step until I transition and I've finished this part of, you know, being this human, and leave this vehicle that we call a body. So that's the story. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you got some value out of it. And thank you for listening, and thank you for loving yourself enough to consider listening to self-talk, to getting that app, getting your 30 days free. Thank you for considering me as your life coach. I would absolutely be honored to coach you through life. It would be an honor and a privilege. And so just email me, Linny at linnymotivates.com, with the word winner in the subject line, and I will make sure that you do your part, and I will take you and guide you through the most amazing journey that we call life, and help you to find success in every single area of your life in the most difficult, trying times that we consider to be as human beings. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, it's a beautiful thing. Life is a beautiful thing on planet Earth, that we get to experience pain, you know, what maybe we call suffering, because then on the other side there's joy. And how would we know how beautiful joy is? Like my daughter, like being here with her, and you know, and what we're going through. How would I know that? Just the joy of being with her and having her by my side, and that support. And my brother coming from Albuquerque, and now he drove with us to Amarillo. And he's got his own business and everything. He's a physical therapist, and he's, you know, it's just, how would I know all of this if the rest weren't happening? Everything unfolds as it's supposed to. It really does. It's a gift. Nothing happens to you. It happens for you. That's another tool. So I love you very, very mucho. I believe in you. You can do this. You can find your purpose. You can move into it. You can create, be, have, do absolutely anything. You can find success in every single area of your life, your relationships, your financial, absolutely everything. You can find success in every single area of your life. I love you so very, very much. I believe in you. You can do this. And as always, shining my light, and it's so bright. It is so bright. And I love you so, so very much. Shining my light to brighten yours. We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.